We walked along the left bank of the holiest river in the world as the sun kissed the hazy emerald sky into morning, and I watched as an old man padded barefoot to the water's edge, dawn in his collarbone, bending with brittle bones to say prayers for the new day. At first glance, the river is thick and murky, garbage entwined in its currents like rings on crooked fingers, and I listened to the winces of the rest of my group members. No Americans with Western sensibilities would find divinity in its sewage runoff and fish corpses. But holy is subjective, found not only in church pews and rosaries. Hindu religion is composed of 3 cycles representing the stages of life. Brahma is the creator, Vishnu the protector, and Shiva the destroyer. Without one stage there cannot be another. With creation comes the inevitability of destruction, and we walked through that early morning mist, past the cremation fires kept lit for centuries, because to have your body turn to dust on these banks is to achieve eternal salvation, to die and then be reborn into light. With the presence of death comes the beginnings of life. Don't tell me there isn't divinity in this. And as the sun grew bigger, I waltzed past the women doing washing in the river, saris glimmering on the surface of the water like schools of colorful fish, and Indian children doing cannonballs into the embrace of the current, grinning like they knew something we didn't. But still, I waltzed past the gossiping birds and the giggling vendors and the fishing boats and rivermen and the toothless woman shouting at the top of her lungs, "Namaste" to the world, and the countless believers greeting each other like "Namaste, my brother. Hello, I love you. The light in me honors the light in you." People make pilgrimages to this sacred place from hundreds of miles away. On foot, buckets strapped to their shoulders just to bring back a bit of this holy water to bless their homes, barefoot and dancing the whole way, never spilling a single drop. As the Indian sun rose midday into the sky and it was time for us to leave, I watched as children and men and women and families lit tiny candles balanced on flower petals and sent them down the river as offerings of light to Vishnu, the protector, preserver of life. We know it as the Ganges River, but the people there affectionately call it the Ganga, and I didn't speak Hindu, but I could have sworn Ganga meant home, meant a prayer to life, to the cycle, to the will of the river. As I turned to leave, up the steps and onto the crowded Varanasi streets, I took one last look back over my shoulder as thousands of tiny candles flickered and floated on the soft, unwavering current, illuminating that holy river into eternity. And I whispered, "What a fall, but what light, what impossible